Hi, how are you? This is another episode of Simply Stated here at OnlyFans, Season 3. And today we're going to be talking about the terrorist attack, or what's being defined as a terrorist attack now in Traverse City. I talked about it a little bit at the beach up in Sturgeon Bay yesterday, but it was kind of not even sort of windy, and I think it might have been hard for some of you to hear what I was saying. What I was trying to tell you is that there's been extreme activity, and I've documented a lot of it. I've done police reports as well. I've sent in reports literally all over the place, and the U.S. government just hasn't handled the situation well at all. I say that because there were multiple attacks on the day of the stabbing at the Walmart. I myself was assaulted. I ended up leaving my other job, so I just have my two jobs now, or I've done one job now, and I left my comms work in that business into one position, basically, and then whatever else I do, you know, whether I be back in home health or, you know, a club or something, or a restaurant, you know, all this stuff. I mean, these would just be considered my other job. But the point is, I want to talk about what's been going on up here, because there's an issue with both the people that you publicly know as Tulsi Gabbard and then Megyn Kelly, who's supposed to be a journalist that was fired from Fox News. And the history with Megyn Kelly is that she's actually male. She has an alter personality disorder, dissociative, works for the Russian FSB, and is a psychopath. And she's also identified herself as Megan C. Livingston, and some of you in the Washington, D.C. area knew her as Michelle. She called herself Michelle. So there's, you know, at least a couple, like 3 different personalities there, 2 of which go under the name Megan, with different spellings, and she's been trying to run a business up here, been heavily involved with Christopher Wray, who's trying to pretend to be a Mexican man now currently, and is Chinese CCP. He's been openly engaging with the Chinese and mass their signet system and their members in public, and gets really angry if anybody, you know, literally does their job and says these people simply can't hang out here and just talk with you, you know, they're not welcome. And so we've had El Jalisco, MS-13, El Tren de Aragua. We've had problems with the Russian FSB and Chinese CCP up here, and constant attacks. I'm probably going to end up moving out of the area because it's become completely unsafe to live in. And I'm part of a large group of people that get up and leave Traverse City like on a daily basis to go somewhere else for the day. I've been traveling around the state some. I have no idea if I'll even continue to live in Michigan or just move away altogether. But I think the big thing to really note is that Tulsi Gabbard has been up here and interacted directly with Megyn Kelly. They were tied in with the group that committed the attacks at Walmart. You know, multiple assault attacks all over the city that day. I myself was assaulted, attacked, and have had to come face to face with the fact that Megyn Kelly actually has been stalking me, because I didn't realize she was Michelle down in D.C., and I certainly didn't realize that she was also, you know, Megan C. Livingston for sure until now. The FBI, the new FBI, has been up here investigating it. It's just there's been no sort of craziness with people that are supposed to be in positions of power for the U.S. government. And, of course, I say all this in context of that, you know, we have a Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, we have Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth, that are decent, and, of course, fired the BOD, CICI, Accenture, and Booz Allen Hamilton from their jobs for their behaviors, and literally working for the Russian FSB and Chinese CCP, and frankly being Jalisco themselves. So, you know, if you're wondering what the corporate arm is of those organizations, it's the BOD, CICI, Accenture, and also Booz Allen Hamilton. And what I specifically want to point you to this week is the obfuscation that occurred with Megyn Kelly going to what was supposed to be a press conference at the White House, where she presented herself as a different type of reporter. Remember I said I'm pretty sure she's working for another organization and pretending to be another reporter, because she has her Megyn Kelly show, but she was fired from Fox, so she couldn't continue to kind of rise as Megyn Kelly. So she's now, because she's Russian FSB, right? So they want to control the U.S. media. So she's reestablished herself as a reporter and was pretending to have this stupid fake staged fight with, you know, whoever Tulsi Gabbard really is, and then Karen Leavitt, who's supposed to be the White House press secretary. By the way, Karen Leavitt is so terrible that I have come to the conclusion that, and the way the U.S. government is doing everything is so terrible, that I've come to the conclusion that Martin Clammer is going to get away with murdering her, because she's no Susan Huckabee. She's not good at the job. She's also really dishonest and just bad. And the fact that she went through a setup and is playing weird dumb games with Tulsi Gabbard and Megyn Kelly, who are both noted psychopaths and completely unsympathetic to actual victims of abuse, is more than enough, I think, for the rest of us to come to recognize the girl's not going to make it. she's just not going to live through whatever's going on. I mean, somebody from the administration is going to go down, and she's just their sacrificial goat. You know, never forget the tendencies and aspects of the old Mayan and Aztec sacrifice system with princesses. Obviously, she's the Aztec princess, Mayan princess that's going to go down. So, and that's sick. You know, it's sick stuff. But for me, I think the thing to note is that when I've been injured repeatedly, currently looking for housing somewhere else, you know, I just don't understand how, you know, because I want to be a nurse, I want to be a doctor. And I don't get enough stability in this country to go to school to be those as an actual genetic female. And I deal with assaults and attempts and even rapes on a fairly regular basis. Like, so common that, I mean, I've dealt with miscarriages in a way that, like, literally Britney Spears complaining about her miscarriage looks completely stupid to me. She looks stupid. Because Justin Timberlake is trash. Like, I'm flipping to a pop topic to help you all get some perspective. And nobody should be crying about losing his baby whenever or however. Wanting people to know he's a bad guy, great. I'll be more than happy to make as many shows as you want about how Jessica Biel and Justin Timberlake are nothing but stupid Russian trash. I mean, because Jessica Biel looks like Albanian trash. Like, I can call him that, and I will. And happily, you know. But it's ridiculous for Britney Spears, someone who's wealthy and tied in with that network and makes a ton of money through Endeavor, millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars, and never worries about housing or has any real problems that I know of. You know, I think she's definitely mentally ill and tortured, but a lot of her mental illness displays as her not recognizing how good her life is. And somebody says you don't know what's going on. It's like, no, I do, because I was trafficked by Endeavor and I provided work for her and she never paid me. And I've never once heard her make any comments or talks about paying me. And she actually owes me money for work. So the point is that, you know, I put this all together for you because crime is transnational and people travel. Because Megyn Kelly, I don't know where else she is on a daily basis. Obviously down in D.C. one day and back up in Traverse City another, or down in D.C. part of the day and back up in Traverse City like hours later. So these people can be like anywhere within a day. And so it's really important to keep yourself like aware and astute. But I'm just really frustrated right now. I mean, I had a meeting with the police earlier this year where they just cried up here in Traverse City. And there's nothing more disheartening than police actually just sitting around and crying because they don't know what to do about the problems in the situation. So, you know, that's where we're at. I'm looking for another regular job for regular hours and regular pay. And we're looking for another city to live in because Traverse City sucks. It has too many dumb Christopher Ray people and too many weirdos from Chinese CCP and too many Russian FSB and too many El Nicaragua and Minus 13 and El Jalisco people. I mean, I came very close to being a lot worse off, more severely injured than just a really bad back injury. I was in a lot of pain. And I was very severely injured several times over the spring, which led to me crying too much in the season finale of season 2 of Simply Stated. And there's a definite issue with Chris himself harassing and bothering me because he's part of Endeavor and thinks that he can somehow get the story changed around to make Patrick Witzel not a dumb labor trafficker. And that he isn't just a stupid labor trafficker for the China CCP himself. And maybe that's all any of this is we're all just being beat up on because these stupid dorks from Russia, Russian FSB and Chinese CCP don't accept that the rest of us will simply never go back to being slaves. We're just never going to accept slavery here in the US or anywhere in the world. We're just not going to. And nobody's going to be cowed or broken down into it. And we have the technology to deal with their stupid crap. Because believe me, we have some dumb dorks up here that have been putting out signet systems and been trying to put hoops on people again. From China and Russia. Which is something nobody has time for and is not going to put up with. At all. At all. Have a good one. This has been another edition of Simply Stated.